So hey guys, back with a new video. So in this video we'll discuss about different MySQL functions and their implementations. So this is the tutorial 3 of the MySQL playlist. In the tutorial 1 and tutorial 2 we'll discuss about different DDL and DML commands, select queries, and we implemented various queries of MySQL. So we will continue in part 3. So just a prerequisite that you should also watch the part 1 and part 2, and then you should move to the this video. So you should be clear with the basic commands like create database, create table, insertion, deletion. Otherwise you will face some difficulties. So now we will start this tutorial. So first I will tell you that there are two functions. So I will just open my notepad. So basically there are two type of function in MySQL. They are as single row function, and the second one is the multiple row function. So guys, single row functions are the functions like which will operate on a single value to return a single value only. So you can say that they can accept one or more arguments, but they will return only one result per row. Whereas when you use multiple row functions, they will operate on a set of rows and they will return a single value only. So you can notice the difference that single row will work on a single row and they will return a single value only. But multiple will operate on set of rows and they will return a single value. So each function have their different commands. So in this video we will work on single row functions only, and in the upcoming tutorials we will work on the multiple row functions. So there are three type of single row functions, which are numeric functions, string functions, and data type function. So we will implement each function, and each function have their own uses. So we can start with the numeric function first. So I will also write. So single row functions are of three type: numeric, second one is string, and the third one is date and time functions. So these are the three single row functions. So we will implement each function in the SQL. And if you want examples of multiple row functions, then multiple row functions are like some, you can say min, max, count, and average. These are some aggregate functions, also known as multiple row functions. So we will implement these functions in our upcoming tutorials. In this video, we will discuss about these three functions only. So now let's move to the MySQL terminal. So first is the basic step which you know now. We will create a database, create database, and any name like EMP, create database EMP. Oh, actually, create spelling is wrong. Create database EMP. Now you have to use the database. And guys, these things I have already told in my first and second tutorial, so you should watch that first, then you should come to these videos. I will not tell more about these queries. So after creating database, we need to create a table, like create table name is employee. Then we will give the columns like id is of int type. Then I will give the first name. First name would be of varchar data type. You can give 20 as range. Then you can also give last name of size 20. Then you can also give, like, you want if salary will be of decimal. You can also give salary as int data type, but like salary is of, like, it can be of 10 characters, 11. So I would use decimal only, and I would prefer that you should also use decimal only. Then you can give any, like, city would also be of varchar data type. So there is some error. Create table id, first name varchar, last name. Oh, I actually forget to give data type in last name. My mistake. I have missed that we need to write last name. It's varchar data type. You need to provide data type to each column, otherwise it will throw error. So now it has executed. And now if you want to see how our table is looking, you will have to write set star from the table name is employee semicolon select star. Actually you have not inserted any records, so you need to write DESC and table name is employee. So this is how our table is looking. So now if you want to you want to insert some records in the table, we will again insert the records. So like you can say insert into employee values. Then you can give like what is ID, like ID is 15, and ID will be your primary key. It will uniquely identify each column or row in your data. First name you can give like RN, then you can give last name as Tiwari. Then what we need to do, salary like 50,000. It is like a float value, and city is like Jaipur. So now if you run this, so you can say query okay. And guys, I am again and again showing you the create command, insert command. I also can skip that, but I want that you should get the SQL part from scrap. Like you should don't think that I am not considering the beginning parts. So I am again starting from the creation part only, and then I will move to the in like the functions part. So again we can insert more values in our data. So insert into values, we need to change ID because it would be unique. Any ID you can give like 5. You can change the name as, and I would also prefer that you should also, like every time you should create a table, then you should insert the records, so it would be a habit in your life. Like you should not do like you have created a table and then you are using again and again only that table only. You should always create a new table, insert records, so that you will learn that what I am saying. You can give any like 30,000 and city, any or insert query okay. Then you again need to write some more insertions, like you can say ID as 25. You can also write name as Kunal, and I have also given the link of this client in my previous videos also, so you can just download. And you should also write with my, yes. So this is any name Singh, what is a name like Sharma. So you should also write these queries in your terminal. And if you face any queries or any issues, you can feel free to comment in the comment box. I will always see your comments. So any city like Goa. So we will insert 2 more records. And remember that you have to always give the IDs different, because ID column is a primary key. It can't be same. You need your primary keys always to be unique. So the name is like Rohit, and surname you can give any like Verma, and 20,000 also this. City remains Jaipur, and one more record you can insert. So now you would be very clear with the insertion and creation part. This is the third time we are doing this, and in the upcoming videos also we will start with the scrap part only. We will not like directly move to the like the queries part. I will again show you the creation table insertion of the queries. So don't worry about it. And you can again give any name like Aniket, any surname Mishra, and you can change like Mumbai. So guys, we are done with the insertion part, and now if you want to see how our table is looking, you can again write select star from employee. Employee. Select star from employee. So this is how our table is looking: ID, first name, last name, salary, city, and you can see that after 50,000 there is 0.00, 0.00. This is because I gave, like you can see, I gave decimal and 8,2, which means that it will round the decimal point to two places. So this is why I used decimal instead of int. So now we are done with the insertion part. So now we will move to the functions. So as I showed you, the first function is numeric. So in numeric there are different functions. Like I will also write, like there are power, you can say round, and if you want, we also can implement like truncate. So we will study these type of functions. Now let's implement each. So for first is the power function. So say that I want ID and salary from my table. What is my table? My table name is employee. But I want that my salary should be of power 2. Like it should be raised to the power 2. So I can do. So again we'll extract select ID comma salary, and then we will write comma power. We need to use power, and then we should put the brackets and salary, because I want my salary to raise to 2 power. So salary 2, and then from the table name is employee. So now see if it works. Yeah, you can see. So what I did, I extracted ID, salary, and power salary too, which means that 50,000 into 50,000, you can see it is this is a very long value. So it is just doubling the value, powering the value by 2. So now we have done the power part. So what is our second? Second is a round. So now we need to implement round. So again, all the functions have similar queries only. You just need to change the function. Like I wrote power in the first query, so now I will write round instead of it. And like I want my salary, I want only those salary which are rounded to the zero place. So I will write salary comma 0, then again from, what's the table name, it's employee. So now if you can see, it is rounded to zero place. So you can see previously the float points are visible like dot 00, dot 00. All these points are removed by rounding it. So now we have implemented power, salary, and now we can also implement our third function, which is truncate. So again, we just need to change the function. We will write instead of round truncate. Then again, this time I want my salary to be truncated to zeroth place. So I will write salary comma again 0, because I want my salary to be truncated to the zeroth place. Then again, table name is employee, and if we execute now, you can see it is truncated to the zeroth place. So you can also, like I will tell you the difference between round and truncate. Like round will just take your argument, which you like, you give x argument, and it will just convert it into d decimal places. So if the number of the decimal places are not specified, or you say it is 0, then the number will round it to the nearest integer. And if you say that if our data contains some negative values, then how can round function will work? So if there is negative value, then it will count off that value from left till the decimal point. And if it is a positive value, we are also using positive value, then it will just count off the value from right to the decimal point. So this is what we do in the round function. And if you say truncate function, then I will give an example, like it will just return a number, like you can say it will return x truncated to d decimal places. And if the d is 0, then result will have no decimal places or the fractional part. So this would be the main difference between round and truncate. I have seen many people to be confused between these functions. So we have executed some numeric functions. Now we will move to string functions. Here we can execute like some functions like length, what you say, like concatenation. We can do concatenation using this. We can also use in string, and in string is a very important function used in the SQL part. I have seen many questions coming in interview or in primary and secondary school exams which asks to find in string values from any table. And about from in string, that is also called as substring. Another is lower. You can also say as lower, or you can say at Lcase upper, and you can say like left, there is right. So all these functions come under string part. So now we have to, now we will implement each of these function in our SQL. So like I want my length of first name, like I want how many characters my first name contains. So we can do this by the length function. You have just need to write select and again the length, length, length. What is my first name? Column name was first name na? Yes, it is first, first, first name, and from my table name is employee. So now you can see I will also show you the name. Select first name from the table name is employee. So now you can see Rn length is 5. You can see 5. Rahul length is 5. Again, Kunal is 5. Rohit is 5. And Aniket is 6. So this is the length of each first name. If you want length, you can use the length function. And one important note I would tell you that MySQL is case sensitive. You can also use, like it is not compulsory to use the functions in the uppercase, the capital. You can also write, like you can also write select length in small letters also. Then again first name from employee. So you can see it also works like this also. Not a compulsion to use the functions in the uppercase. You can also use them in lowercase. So this is a very good advantage also of SQL, that we should not like consider on the caps lock values. We can also use the lowercase. So syntax is comfortable. So now I will move to the second function. So the second function is concatenation. So in concatenation, we will concate some things. Like if I say I want to concate first name and last name together from my employee table. So how can I do that? So now let's focus on that. Select. I will write concat. Concat is a function. Then I will write what? The first name. Then comma, and then just need to write brackets. These are null brackets between the columns which you need to concat. Like I need to concat first name and last name. So I will just put null brackets between them and the last name, and then just from table name is employee. So if we run this, hopefully it should run. Yes, you can see RM. So you actually, I also want gap between my name. So you just need to put some space also in the null brackets. So now let's see what is the output. So yeah, now it is perfect. So what this function did, it has concatenated my first name and last name. So you can see R.N. Tiwari, Rahul Singh, all these names are concatenated. So now I will move to my strings, and this is a very important function. I also told you previously, this function always comes in exams. So now first I will tell you what is the use of instring. So instring, basically you write it as instr. It is used to return the position of first occurrence of your substring in the string. So you don't get it with the definition. Like, it will just return the first position of your substring. Like, if I want the occurrence of Tiwari in first name, so how can I return that? You understand my question? I am asking that I want position of Tiwari in first name. So how can I do that? So you need to write select in string. First you need to write first name, comma, what aside? I want Tiwari's occurrence. So you need to write what you need, and then just again from the table name is employee. So what is the output? It's showing 0. That's rare. Have I done some mistake or what? I will again write it. Like, if I say I want of Rn, it should return some value. Yes, you can see. Like, I wrote Rn and it is only present in one column. So it returned 1, and all columns except Rn are 0. So this is what instring will do. It will return the position of your first character, which you provided in the instring part. So instring has done. Now we will move. This is a very easy function. We just want our letters in the lower case, like in the lower. So we just write select lower, then first name, and then from, brackets were missing, from table name is employee. So now if I execute this, see what is the output. So yeah, you can see. So what this command did, it has just converted my arguments into lowercase. It will change all my characters to lowercase only. And you can also write this command like select. Wait, I will copy this only. Select lower. You can just write, instead of lower, you can also use Lcase. It will also do the same. You can write Lcase, and if I execute this command, you can also see this will also do. You can either use lower or you can also use Lcase. This will just convert your argument or your string into lowercase. And if you say that I want my letters to be in capital letters, uppercase, so you can just use upper, again first name, and then from the table name is employee. So if we run this, now you can see all the names are in the uppercase. And like we use Lcase, you can also use Ucase. I will show again. I will also show you this also. Like, you can write Ucase, and if we run this, I think, yeah. So this is also returned with the same output only. So Lcase subcase is done. And now if you say that I want my characters, like my characters of first name, starting 3 characters. Like, I want, like, these are names R and Rahul. So I just want that ARY should be written RAHKUN. What I'm saying that I want only my first 3 characters in my first name. So how can we do that? So for doing this, we can use a function which is known as left. So what it will do, it will just return the specified numbers of characters from the left side of our string. So we just need to select left first, select left first name, comma 3. I want 3 characters. If you want to, you can write 2 from the table name is employee. So if I run, return the wrong column name, it is first. Now if I run this, so yeah, you can see that ARYRAHKUN. So these are the first 3 characters of my name. So you can do this by left, and if you want last 3 characters of your name, this in this query we return the first 3 characters of our name, but I want my last 3 characters. So you can use right for this. Instead of left, you can use right. We'll change the name. It's, and if we run this, it will return the last 3. You can see YANHUL. These are the last 3 characters. So right will return the specified numbers of characters from the right side of string. So you know the difference between left and right also. So now we will focus on our last function, which is known as substring. And substring is also a very important function like in string, and we will also understand the difference. So first I will tell you the difference. Like first we executed in string. So what in string was doing, it was just returning the position of our first occurrence of the substring. But what substring will do, it will return the specified numbers of characters from our middle of a string. So if you say, I will give you example, like if we have 3 arguments, the first argument is our source string. The second argument will be our position of the character which we need to display. And the third argument is the number of characters we need to display. So like if I want, like if you say in easy words, I want, like I will show you the implementation. Select substring from 3 comma 2. So I will write select mid first name, and I want starting from 3 till 2. So let's see if this works or not. Hope it works. Yeah, it is working. So what this command did, it started from the third letter. I will show you the name again. Select first name from table name is employee. My table name is employee. So yeah, you can see the names. These are the names. So what this command is doing, it is just taking the third character and displaying it till the second. Like if you see rn, then we will start with y 1 2 3, and we'll take it like 2 1 2, then y is displayed. If you say Rahul, then 1 2 3, so we will start from 3 and we will take only 2 characters, so hu. In Kunal we will start from third, and we will take 2, so na. Like it is Aniket, so again we will start from third 1 2 3, so I is in the third position and we will take 2 characters only, so ik. So this is what substring, or you can say mid, is doing. So we have also completed the string functions. So now the last function which is remaining is date and time functions. So date and time functions, these are very easy functions. Like current date is used, which is also known as current date. Now is used. You can say sys date is used. Or there are many functions. Actually, these all are, we call these are date and time functions. Like if you want to extract date, if you want to extract month, so these all functions come under date and time functions. So now we will execute date and time functions. So first date and time function which I will show you is the cur date. So date will just return the current date and time. Like if I run this, what is the output? So yeah, today is 19 February 2022. So what this is returning, current year, current month, and current date. So this is what current date will return. And if I run select now, so we should see what is the output. Oh, actually I missed the semicolon, and I think now this error will not. Yeah, select now. So yeah, so this is like when we are doing current date, it was just returning the current date. Now is also returning the time. So the current time is 5:38:09. So it will also show you the time, minutes and seconds. So now is better than current date. So if you say that I want date, and if I write select date, I will give any like 2009. Actually I didn't, like we didn't created a column of date, so it would can throw a error. So first you will execute the month. So if I say select id comma, say first name comma, last name comma, city, from what we say, from what is our table name is employee. So yeah, now you can see id is returning, first name is returning, last name is returning. So now is returning the time, and both, it is returning the time also, and it is also returning the current date. And if I want to extract, like select month, and if I randomly give any date like 2010, 02, date is like 26, and if we run this, so yeah, now you can see I want to extract my month from this date. So month is 2, so it has returned 2. And if you say like I want to return date instead of month, so you need to return date. So you can just write, instead of date you can write, instead of month you can write date. So you can see this is returning the date. And if I say I want to extract year, so it will return 2010. You can see the year is, so you just need to write year. If I run, so yeah, you can see this is returning year. So we have done year also, date also, and month also. And like it can also give you the day name. Like if you want the day name, you can also execute day month. Like if I say select day of month, and I will again give some like 2009, you can give any date, and I will give like 21. And if we execute, let's see what is the output. So you can see the day of month is 21, and it is returning 21 only. So anything is left? Yeah, if you want to check day of week instead of day of month, you can also write like day of, what I say, day of week. So if I run day of week, yeah, so this is a date, and we want to extract the day of the week which we need to showcase in our implementation. So this will return the day of week of the provided date. And if you say that you want to extract day of year instead of day of week, so you can also write instead of day of year, and you can give change like 9, date is like any date, 26. And if I run this, So yeah, this is returning the day of year. The previous command was returning day of week. So guys, we have done many implementations. You can see today we executed many commands. So in this video we learnt about different single row functions, numeric, string, date and time, and all the functions we have executed. So we didn't focus on multiple row functions. We will implement multiple row functions in the upcoming tutorials. So in this video we'll learn about single row functions. So this is all for this video. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and stay tuned.